Tonight on Si's Eyes on the Skies.
It's a little chilly out there right now, 50 degrees and windy, but that wind is on its way out. I'll tell you more soon.
Plus, Trey has your national forecast. All that and more as this Tuesday, October 22nd edition of Si's Eyes on the Skies starts now.
Live from Studio 171 in Ames, Iowa, the Iowa State Meteorology Department team of meteorologists brings you the latest weather from around the country and out your front door. Iowa State's longest running television program and the only live weather broadcast on campus starts right now. This is Si's Eyes on the Skies.
Welcome back to Si's Eyes. I'm now joined by Rachel. It's really blowing out there today, isn't it?
Can confirm, I almost fell over on my way to class.
I did too. I had a tough time walking in a straight line but that's really all because of those gusty winds making it feel like it's pretty cold as we're getting into the winter season here.
Oh yeah, after that storm system moved out, definitely brought in the winds behind it.
I could have used a couple more weeks, but here we are.
Yeah, you know how it is. Well, those winds are on their way out, but especially in the eastern part of the state, they're still hanging on a bit at 18 miles an hour in Dubuque and Waterloo, 20 in Mason City, but those will be calming down as time goes on.
And now it's time for tonight's weather story. On this day in 1996, an early season winter storm brought heavy rain across much of Iowa along with snow in the southwest. Over an inch of rain was recorded at most locations in the southeastern two-thirds of the state, with accumulations ranging up to 3.47 inches at Coring. Measurable snowfall was received southwest of a line from Ottawa to Bedford, with accumulations ranging up to 2.1 inches at Red Oak and 3.5 inches at Sidney. And now here's Trey with a look at what's going on around the country.
Well, Kevin, not a lot of snow to speak of tonight. We are going to be watching two storm systems, one that is on the way out currently in the Great Lakes region, high pressure filtering in behind that, but then another storm system coming in, entering the northwest. That will be bringing some snow to the Rocky Mountains and the Rocky Mountain states. We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment.
Welcome back to Si's Eyes. Now here's Trey with a look at what's going on around the nation.
Well, Kevin, it has been a very active last few days across the nation. We're looking at the national satellite and radar picture right now. We have one storm system that has been moving through the central and northeastern, the central and southern plains over the last few days. That system is finally getting ready to move on out. High pressure filtering in behind that, and then another area of low pressure coming in from the Pacific Northwest. Now, between these two pressure systems, we have a very tight pressure gradient. And so that pressure gradient is allowing for very strong gusty winds. We talked about that earlier in the break. And so as long as these two systems are competing for each other, we have those strong winds. And that is what we've seen quite a bit today across the Midwest. So now let's take a look now at what's going on. As we take a look at the national temperatures right now, you can see behind that area of low pressure, some colder air beginning to filter in from Canada. You can see 45 right now in Minneapolis, 56 right now in Kansas City. Some warmer air down around the southeastern U.S., down into Florida, and then warmer back into Texas with some drier air filtering in. But generally the colder air is up to the north. But take a look up in Canada. There's even more cold air building up in the higher latitudes. That will be coming down as we head into the next several days. So let's take a look at temperatures right now across the Midwest. You can see 51 right now in Des Moines, 45 in Minneapolis, a little bit warmer down to the southwest in Kansas at 63 in Hayes. As we take a look at temperatures across the northeastern U.S. right now, you can see 56 in Boston, 52 in Augusta, 49 in Caribou, Maine, and then warmer in the Steel City of Pittsburgh at 58, and then down across the southeastern U.S., that is where temperatures are really warm out of the head of this front. Notice the 80s down in the peninsula of Florida, 85 in Miami, 84 in Tampa. And then as we take a look at the southwest right now, as you would expect, generally warmer down in the deserts, and then that Santa Ana wind really warming it up down around the coast of California, 84 in Los Angeles. But then as you move inland, higher elevation, a little bit cooler, 60 in Durango, 59 in Grand Junction, 61 in Salt Lake City. And then as we head up to the Pacific Northwest, again, cooler and colder, and the higher elevations have been a little bit milder as you move closer to the coast. So let's take a look at the upper atmosphere for the next several days. We have one powerful upper level low, this system that has been basically bringing all the active weather. That will begin to move on out as we head through the next couple of days. And you can see that clearly here with that upper level low beginning to move off to the northeast. A lot of pleasant weather, though, from the west coast down through the southern plains and then in the southeast as high pressure really dominates the picture. And then here comes that next system as we get into Wednesday. That system is going to be moving southeast along the jet stream, moving into the central plains. It will grab up more moisture, and so we will begin to see rain chances increase across the central plains. Also, where some of that colder air will begin to filter in from Canada, that is where we'll see some of that rain change over to snow across the high plains. And then you can see that system will continue to move off towards the east with clouds filtering in down to the south. And then here comes the rain for areas of Texas and Oklahoma. And then you can see back in the higher elevations a little bit of snow across Colorado and New Mexico. So here's a look at my select city. This is for Denver, Colorado. You can see the changes will certainly be coming over the next couple of days. A low chance for a few showers tomorrow at 52, and then cold on Thursday behind that cold front. And you can see a high of 38 degrees. The low on Friday morning will be 24, and then remaining cool through the end of the week. We warm up a little bit on the weekend, and then yet another surge of cold air will arrive as we head into early next week.
Now for tonight's trivia question. In 1988, Hurricane Gilbert produced an incredibly low pressure thought to be the lowest ever recorded up to that time. What was that pressure? A, 921 millibars, B, 895 millibars, C, 905 millibars, or D, 888 millibars. We'll have that answer for you coming up in just a minute. Now let's have a look at the week ahead with Rachel.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Right now, the temperatures across the state of Iowa, 50 in Ames, and not too far from that across the entire state. We're looking at upper 40s in the north and low 50s on the southeast and southwestern parts of the state. So for the upcoming week, we're looking at a chance of rain tomorrow, but that'll be moving out by Thursday, and for a nice weekend in central Iowa, and then crisp and seasonable temperatures coming up after that. Those wind speeds still going pretty strong across, especially the eastern part of the state. 18 Dubuque, 18 Waterloo, 20 Mason City, but behind that, Council Bluffs is getting a break from it at 8 miles an hour right now. Temperatures across the state fairly consistent in the upper 40s to lower 50s. Like I said earlier, 52 in Council Bluffs, 44 Mason City. That's about the range of it. And those wind chills, though, it's pretty chilly up to the northeast, especially behind where that low pressure system pulled that cold air down from Canada. And that's what's making it feel a little colder than it is for those parts of the region. Looking at the satellite and radar, that storm system we saw earlier is on its way out, and then you can see the one Trey was talking about, this moving in soon, starting to pick up moisture as it heads into the Midwest. For the future cast, we're looking Wednesday morning, that rain will start to creep its way into the state, and by the afternoon to evening hours, covering much of the state of Iowa. So chances are we will see rain from this at some point during the afternoon especially. And that will be on its way out by Thursday morning, leaving behind a little bit of cloud cover into Thursday until it gets nice and clear on Friday for a beautiful weekend. And we do see a resurgence of a chance of rain on Sunday morning really early, but that doesn't look too significant as of right now. Forecasted highs for tomorrow, there's a sharp divide across the state where below this line we're looking at 50s into the 60s even, and then to the north of that line, about Highway 20 or so, we're going to be seeing 40s as the high. So definitely our friends up north will be seeing quite a different story than what we will be in southern Iowa. But for our extended forecast in Ames, we're looking at that chance of rain for tomorrow moving in and on its way out by Thursday. Beautiful for the weekend, 50s, almost near 60, rather nice, and then crisp and cool for early next week.
Well, let's get back to that trivia question again to remind you. In 1988, Hurricane Gilbert produced an incredibly low pressure, thought to be the lowest ever recorded up to that time. What pressure was that? A, 921 millibars, B, 895 millibars, C, 905 millibars, or D, 888 millibars. Any guesses on that one, Trey?
Well, I'm gonna guess here with B. Obviously, all those are really low pressures and associated with really powerful hurricanes. So I guess B.
All of those are pretty competitive choices. What do you think, Rachel?
I think it's probably D. It's pretty low pressure, and I was thinking it was one of the 800, so he took one, I'll take the other one.
Well, the answer to that one is actually D, 888 millibars.
Wow, almost think that would hurt your ears being over there.
I would hate to be anywhere near that one.
It would hurt a lot more than your ears because wind in that type of system, oh, it would be really powerful.
So you have to hope there was no one really around for that one. Well, that concludes tonight's show. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show on YouTube under our Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on Thursday.